This is The Current Buzz, a podcast powered by Oklahoma Electric Cooperative and OEC Fiber,
dedicated to teaching you what makes us different.
Welcome and Happy New Year. We are back in 2023 with some fresh episodes of The Current Buzz. Autumn here, Kayla here.
Hi, everybody.
And we had some really exciting stuff happen in early January. We had two very long time employees retire. One of the things that makes OEC special, and as what we would say makes OEC a little bit different, is the way we invest in our team members. Kayla, you're relatively new to OEC Fiber. What is kind of your perspective on what makes OEC different in the way we invest in our people?
That's a great question. And honestly, I know this might sound exaggerative, but one of my favorite reasons to be employed here, we really do invest in our people. It's people over process is kind of what I always say. Yes, we have a lot of work to do. And yes, we take great pride in that work that we do. But we also understand as a company that we put out better work when our employees are happy. And so we spend a lot of time making sure that they have resources, making sure that they have opportunities to continue learning and growing themselves. And then we also just have a lot of really cool things culturally that we do here, like our retirement breakfast.
Well, and one of the things that always strikes me that Patrick Grace says, who is our CEO, every time he meets a new employee, which anytime we have a new employee, they meet the senior leadership team. And he says, we have two priorities at OEC. Number one is safety. Everyone needs to go home with all 10 fingers, all 10 toes. If we don't have a safe culture, we can't have a great culture. But number two is we have to take the best care of our members and our subscribers. And the way we believe you do that at OEC and OEC Fiber is if you have really happy team members, really happy employees, they will take great care of everybody else. And that's really what we have staked our claim on here at OEC. Would you agree, Kayla?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a quote, and I'm not sure who to attribute this to. I should probably look that up, but it always kind of resonates in my mind when I think about everything that you just said. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. And so if you have the best strategy to help your membership, to help your subscriber base, if you don't have a solid culture behind that, it really won't be super effective, right? So pouring into culture, investing in your people will help make sure that that strategy is as effective as possible.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Full circle, as we started, we had two long-term employees retired. The first on January 4th was John Spencer. John retired as the VP of Metering, a position he held for about 30 years of his 42-year career at OEC. That's actually an OEC record, 42 years, which is remarkable. What I love about John is actually hails from New York State. And he talks about being young and getting ready to start his career. And he heard a rumor that there was a lot of jobs in Oklahoma. So literally, he rallied some of his buddies. They had one car. Everything they owned fit in this one car. They drove from New York State, get to Oklahoma. And the first person he meets, or the first interview he has, is with Max Meek, who is our former CEO. And Max hired him as honestly, a laborer. So he was digging ditches, and we did things a little bit differently then. So he was physically digging the ditches. We have machinery that helps us with that now. But spent quite a bit of time out there before he moved into our metering department and was there for quite a while and just slowly moved up the ranks. But he was an incredible team member. He's been, again, on the leadership team for at least 30 of his 42 years. And a great advocate for the board of directors, a great advocate for our employees, someone who is one of the most loyal humans I think I've ever met in my life. So we will miss him a lot. And really just we made him promise that he would answer the phone when we called and asked questions. But John is an incredible teammate. And then Janet McGinnis, who was our HR coordinator and overseer of all things benefits. She wrapped up a 25-year career. And what I love about Janet is Janet was here in 1980. And then she left because apparently she made a mistake, and she knew she made a mistake. So she came back, and she not only was in member service, so someone who was answering the phone, she also was in logistics. So in our warehouse, she was the person helping pull equipment for our linemen and our outdoor crews. And then ultimately found her home in HR, where she really, we give her credit for creating the benefits package that we have now. She spearheaded that. She figured out how that would work. She has been there with the addition of OEC Fiber, Kayla, as you know very well. And truthfully, the growth of the electric side of the company, we have grown in the last decade considerably to a company that now is about 220 full-time employees. It was not that size in 1980. So Janet has really been critical in rolling out the processes and how we grow as a team. So we celebrated them. Kayla, tell us what we do when you retire at OEC.
Oh man, it is a big deal. I have actually been really pumping my teams up for these retirement breakfasts because, through COVID, we weren't able to celebrate our retirees that way. So now that retirement breakfasts are back, we have a lot of employees that we've hired over the last year, 2 years that haven't experienced them. So as I've been kind of sharing information with them, I'll share with you guys what I tell them. Our retirement breakfasts are super special. It's an opportunity for all of the departments at the co-op to come together. We also often see a lot of retirees come out, our board comes out, the family members and friends of the person retiring comes out. It's kind of up to them and whoever they'd like to invite. It's their breakfast after all. So huge community. We all gather. We have steaks. The teams, they cook steaks up. They have their secret recipe, secret seasoning. They're extra tasty, extra delicious. They put the work in, they grill the steaks. We also bring in eggs, we bring in bacon, we bring in hash browns, we bring in biscuits, kind of the works. So we've got nice steak and egg breakfast for everyone. We all get to kind of gather around, sit with people in your department, other departments, kind of mix in with all of the groups you don't see all of the time since we're all together under one roof together. We also take some time to celebrate the retirees, of course. So we have a slideshow going on during the entire breakfast with fun pictures and fun memories of their time and tenure here at OEC, so that we can kind of see their time throughout the years and their progression of their career. We also take some time to talk about their time here. So a lot of times that'll be Patrick Grace, our CEO, their managers, if they had a manager, people in their departments will kind of share some words. And then often they get a chance to kind of share some departing words, share some wisdom they've learned along the way, and let us know that they'll be back to visit. Because again, like you said, John and Janet both have just such institutional knowledge being here for so long. So they'll definitely be missed.
Well, and you hit the nail on the head that I think one of the things that when I try and tell people, why do I love working at OEC or being part of OEC Fiber? It is because I feel like I am part of a bigger mission. We're making sure people have access. We're making sure people are safe when it's cold or cool when it's hot. And we have a team that feels like a true team. And these retirement breakfasts are the perfect example of that. As you said, former retirees come back. So it's a good chance to see friendly faces that are now enjoying retirement. It's an institution that allows people a life where they feel comfortable retiring. And anytime you're having we talk about breaking bread when you're together, there's something so intimate and special about having a meal with someone. And so this idea that we are coming together as the OEC family to break bread, to get to know each other's families, to get to know each other a little bit better, I think is such a good snapshot of what it means to be part of OEC and OEC Fiber.
Absolutely. And even just thinking generationally, we are, what is this, the third generation of co-op employees now that are kind of filling the front lines and taking on the duties of those that are retiring and moving on to their next chapter. And so as we have this next generation of co-op employees come in, I think there is something to be said at just the different ways that the different generations look at their careers, right? So as a young person, younger in the workforce, I've been at OEC Fiber. I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary myself. And I have to say it was not until working here at OEC that seeing all of these people who have been here for so long, you see that opportunity for a career. You feel comfortable kind of sinking your roots in and getting settled and really kind of learning what it is you can do here to hang on for those 30 years and produce what we have to produce to help our membership and subscriber base. So I think it's really inspiring to celebrate in that way. And it shows the next generation of co-op employees that here's where you can be if you just kind of stick with it for the next few years and chapter of your life, and it'll take you to great places.
I love that. And that is, I think, a great way to end our podcast, and even better, a great way to kick off 2023. We hope you will join us on future episodes of The Current Buzz, and we look forward to coming to your homes through the airways.
Thank you.
You can find us at okcoop.org and oecfiber.com.
Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.